Okay, good. Okay, good. And I will be sharing my link for Thinkific because I want to share with you guys the special series that they have for you guys. Okay, so I'll be sharing that a little bit later. All right, so let's go ahead and get started into what does the business look like today. So anytime I share numbers, financials, I always want to make sure that I am careful with how I share these things. So whenever I saw people sharing numbers and what they did, like I was always in awe. Like honestly, like I'm the one who I want to believe everyone and everybody. So if somebody says this is how much I made, that's how much I made, I was like, wow, that's awesome. How did you do it? Teach me so I can do it too. And what I found is that everyone is not necessarily upfront with all of their numbers. Everyone is not necessarily honest, unfortunately. So, I'm not here to share screenshots. That's not what this is about. But what I want to do is I want to share with you and be transparent with what the process was like getting to those numbers. So when I say 300,000 of courses sold in 2021, that does not include any private coaching that I did, like my small group private coaching, where I was selling like $10,000 packages. It doesn't include that. It literally includes courses that I sold for $27, $47, $197. When I sold Passive Income Summer School, you guys remember that. That one was like $199. So this is what I'm talking about when I say courses sold. The majority of my business, 90% of my business is group-based teaching, which I deliver through a course platform. There's 9%, 9% like done for you, or something where I'm doing a private clients. And even though those amounts are higher as far as like the payment that comes from those, they're a smaller piece of my business because they require more time, right? I only have 24 hours in a day, and I literally do not like working 8-hour days. And then I have on here like 1% coming from miscellaneous, including affiliate partnerships, so like something like this one, okay? And the reason that I set things up like that is because I'm an introvert and I'm a proud introvert, right? There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. There's some people process their thoughts by speaking them out, which are extroverts, and some people process their thoughts by thinking them, and that's what introverts do. But what that means is that often we tend to be in our own heads a lot, meaning that we tend to overthink things, and we also tend to need that alone time, because if someone's talking, it interrupts our thought process, right? Typically, when another person is talking, unless you're really rude, you're not going to speak over them, which is why generally an extrovert can process their thoughts a lot easier around people because there's other people to listen to them and kind of bounce ideas off of. As an introvert, generally we're processing our thoughts by thinking them. And if we're around people and they start talking, they're going to interrupt our train of thought. We're like, what were we thinking about? And this, that, and the other. So with me being an introvert, I knew that I like my alone time. Yes, I do like to hang out with people, and I don't necessarily have social anxiety, but I like my alone time. And what that means is that I knew I didn't want to be on sales calls all day. So I didn't want to create a business where I was primarily dependent on coaching and income from coaching, because that would require me to be on sales calls. I didn't want to be on sales calls all day. I didn't want to have my calendar packed out with calls, like sales calls, coaching calls, and then also still have to do all of the other stuff like the marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And when you're growing your business, like this is what you need to think about and consider is, how do you structure it so that it's right for you, and so that it is it's set up so that it fits in with your personality and with your nature? Because if you try to do something that's against your nature, like, yes, you can swim against the tide and you might make it, and that's fine. However, you'll find things to be a lot less complicated if you just swim with the tide. So what I realized was that I had to, if I wanted to do high ticket, I really needed to create systems that worked for me, which is part of the systems that I teach inside of the Path to Six Figures. And I also needed to create a little bit more low ticket products, because I enjoy creating, I enjoy teaching. This is what I love doing. You guys see me here every Saturday. And so that's how I decided to structure my business. Okay. And hey, Arva. The reason that I decided to take the leap and restructure or structure my business around courses is actually, it's funny. I was going through my old journal that I had when I first started with one of my mindset coaches. Is the reason that I decided to do that is because I started thinking about the ways that I wanted my days to look. Like, how did I want my day to look? And also, I had a conversation with myself in here, talking about high ticket and how I never wanted it to be stressful. I never wanted to get on the phone and like try to force someone or feel like I need to make this work. I need to close this because I've got to make sales. And also, I realized a lot of people that I was working with were beginners, meaning that they didn't necessarily have the funding to go into a high ticket offer. And I still wanted to be able to help them. So I started sort of breaking down my knowledge into smaller pieces. And that's how I delivered my courses. So now I have the YouTube membership, which, like I said, is like $2.99 a month. It doesn't bring in a whole lot, but I'm able to turn off my ads, which is awesome. So I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel that way. I also have merchandise. So if you check, I just set this up this past week when I probably should have been doing something else. But if you look below this video, or if you're watching this on the recording, you should see a merchandise shelf. And we've got our mug, which there's one in the closet. It'll take too long for me to go get one. But it's got my mug that says, I create my own version of a lavish life. And so you can actually order that now. So I have a merchandise shelf. And I'm going to do some t-shirts soon. So those are going to be coming soon. And then I also have, I removed a lot of my courses. So the majority of the courses that I used to sell, I actually pulled those down because I realized that I could really help clients get the best results inside of the Path to Six Figures. So my main program is the Path to Six Figures. That's where we bring majority of our clients in. But I also have Package and Profit, which is on demand. And I have Brand New Coach, which is an on-demand program. Okay. All right. So let me, okay. Next thing that I wanted to share. So I talked about what made me take the leap to create my course or membership. Like I said, I wanted to create different price points so that clients basically could get in where they fit in. So that if we're on the phone and they're like, well, I really want to work with you, but this is, out of my range right now, then I would say, okay, you can go to this program. Or if someone's kind of like watching, they're on my email list and they're like, wow, I really want to work with her, but I'm scared to get on the phone because I don't know how much it is. So let me purchase this program. And then what happens is, they take themselves on their own journey, right? They start watching videos and they essentially graduate themselves. Okay. So when I hit my first business milestone, which was, honestly, for me, it was six figures. So it was 100,000, selling $100,000 in a year. And when I hit that first milestone, it felt really good because the previous couple of years, I kept getting close to it. And I was like, I would get so close. Like, I think I hit like 75K one year, and then I hit 78K the next year. And I was like, what is going on? Something is wrong. There's a reason that I'm not getting to six figures. And the way that I finally got there was I figured out, like, honestly, and one of the brand manager that I was working with at the time, she also recognized that this was it. I literally got crystal clear on who I was offering my services to and what I was helping them to do. So it's those things. So if you guys are going through the Path to Six Figures, that that's like modules 1, 2, and 3, right? Finding your ideal client and getting clear on your unique selling proposition. But that was what I did. I finally said, I help coaches create and fill their coaching programs with high quality clients. And so, you might think it's cutesy to develop an elevator pitch or figure out like what your one-liner is, but it's really not. There's a purpose behind it. And the purpose behind it is for you to be able to clearly communicate to someone else exactly what you do and who you do it for. And then once I was able to get really clear on that, the other thing that added on to it that helped me to hit that six figures was that I was able to start using ads and target the specific people that I knew were right for my offer, because I didn't really know how to target them before that moment. I was like, well, I want to work with business owners. I want to work with service professionals. Like, I can help all of these people. So how many of you feel like that, where you're like, well, there's all these people that I can help, but I'm scared to like narrow down because I don't want to alienate anyone. I don't want to leave anybody out. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, well, these are all the people that I can help. This is how I want to help people, but I know that I can do more. Like, don't put me in a box, basically. I never wanted to be put in a box. But the problem is that when you drill down into your niche or your niche, that's where the money resides, right? So niches get riches, as we've said before, right? So once I decided to narrow down, and coaches is still fairly broad, to be honest. I could narrow that down even further, but it's easy enough for me to do that with each marketing message to say like, hey, are you a mindset coach? If so, I can help you create and fill your coaching program with high quality clients. Hey, are you a fitness coach? If so, right? So it's fairly easy for me to just break that down in the marketing message. But that was what allowed me to hit six figures. And at that point, I had an ad, which I'll be talking about a little bit later, but I had an ad going. It was running for, I think, like $24 a day. And I was basically just going through this process where at anytime somebody signed up for my free offer, I would also show them one of my courses so that they could purchase. And some people purchased it, some people didn't. And then for the people who purchased it, I would send them a text message and I would say, hey, would you like to hop on a free call? And it wasn't do you want to hop on a sales call, or do you want to hop on a, 1 hour chit chat? It was literally like, let's do a 15-minute call. Some people took the offer, some people didn't. For the people who took the offer, I literally would get on there for 15 minutes and I would just listen and help them with their business. And I've got the notebook back there. I was just in the closet the other day when I was looking for this one. Inside of the notebook, I have like page after page after page of free 15-minute calls that I did where all I wanted to do was get to know the person and find out what they were interested in. And so what did this do for me? Well, it helped me to not only restructure some of the ways that I was wording things, but also understand how I could best help my clients and how I could really speak to their needs. Some of those people, I realized like, hey, I can help you. Here are some of the ways I can help you. I would send them a follow-up email, say, hey, thanks for joining me on the call. Here's a couple of options for you. If you'd like to, we can hop on another call if you want. And that would be the quote sales call, right? We can hop on another call if you want to discuss this. If not, if you're ready to purchase, you can just go to these links. Like, it was very hands-off and very low pressure for them and for me. And that's essentially how I built up to that first six figures. Okay. Then from there, I was able to go to 250K in a year. And that, honestly, like, that was because I literally just doubled my ad budget. So I went from spending like $24 a day to $100 a day. And then I ended up spending like up to, I think that year I got up to like $200 a day in ad spend. And then this past year, I got up to, my goal was 1.2 million, if you guys remember that video. But I was able to get to around a little over 300K. I think like 314 was the ending number. But the great thing is that the majority of that came from hands-off courses where I'm not having to show up every single day on a coaching call. I don't have my calendar lined up with calls. And so part of what I want to share with you also is not only what I learned, but also how you can put this together for yourself. Okay. So let's go into your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-step process. Nope, 7-step process, 8-step process. There's a lot of steps here. I didn't number them. So bear with me as we go into this. We're about halfway in, so we still got plenty of time. Yay. Ruth says, I love my mug. Yeah, I've got to go. And I just cleaned my closet out. This one, which one? That one, that's the bathroom. That's the closet. And I just cleaned it out and organized it and put everything like very nicely done. So the box with all of the mugs is in there, but it's not organized enough where I could like go just grab it. So I'll show you guys on the next one, but yeah. Okay, good. Arva says I'm still working through module 1. Yes, in the path to 6 figures. Okay, good. So you guys have finally narrowed down. Kimberly says narrowed down. Diane says narrowed down. Struggling to figure out how to reach them most effectively. Okay, you're going to love what I'm going to be talking about in just a second. Okay. Okay, good. For my niche, I got hung up on what to add as a low ticket product. I have a 5-video series from a pre-recorded 5-day challenge. You can start with that. So I wouldn't overthink it. So here's what I realized as I was creating low ticket offers. So in it's 2022, the forgotten year, right? 2020. So in 2020, where I hit 250K that year, I was creating a lot of courses. So I guess this past year, even though the revenue went up by just a little bit, I didn't create any additional courses. But in 2020, I was creating a lot of courses. Like I had all sorts of new programs courses. I was setting up new funnels and, purchase pages and email sequences. And I was doing a lot. And what I realized is that anytime I was overthinking the topic or like what to include or like what to sell, sometimes I wouldn't even quote unquote get it right. Right. Like I remember I had this whole funnel built out for something called Design My Launch. And I was so excited about it. I was like, oh, you're gonna learn exactly how I design a launch. Like we'll go from basically a marketing plan. So we're gonna like create your marketing plan for your offer, your program, and launch it out there. And I opened the door, like I really thought this one through. I was like so excited. And I opened the doors and no one bought. And I remember thinking like, wow, like all that time I spent trying to figure out like what people were going to buy and no one bought. So sometimes what you have to do is just put it out there, literally. And then present. Okay. Yeah, low pressure. Well, that it resonates with a lot of people. Like we don't like being sold, but for some reason, there are a lot, unfortunately, of sales strategies that teach you to like hard pressure sell. And the problem is that like we don't even like it ourselves, but we think that it's what works because the person who's teaching it is like, well, I sold such and such, millions of dollars. So we're like, well, I guess we better follow them and do it. And then you do it and it doesn't feel congruent. And so because it doesn't feel congruent, you actually don't feel good on the phone. And then it really causes your sales to like not work as well for you. So if it's congruent with your personality, absolutely do it, but it's not congruent with mine. I'm the type of person where when there's something I know that I want, I get it, right? I decide it and I do it and I get it. If I'm still thinking, I'm not getting on the phone with someone to have a conversation about it. If I'm on the phone, I've already made the decision. It's what I know that I want. And so now we're on the phone because I have a couple of questions. I need to kind of like nail down, some of the specifics, and, they potentially could turn me off on the phone. So yeah, you do want to make sure that you're congruent with you and your personality. But generally speaking, like if I schedule a call, it's because I already know that I'm ready to get going. And so because I am that way, I tend to attract people who are like me. If you are that way, you will attract people who are like you. So I knew that I didn't need to get on the phone and do any sort of high pressure anything. I just needed to have a conversation and say, hey, I can actually help you with this. Here's the links of where you can go to get started. And that's and surprise, people will actually go to the links. Okay. Do Facebook ads really work? Yes, they do. They do. They're having a little bit of issues right now with because of what's going on with like iOS 14 and like Google's like taking away their data, but they'll figure it out. Hopefully. If not, they'll be out of business. So yes. Okay, good. Good. All right. I'm glad you are enjoying it. I'm a purpose coach for millennial women. I feel like I can narrow that down further to women with my same background. Yeah, I would definitely get a lot more specific than millennial women. Millennials like a whole generation. So what type of women are they? Business owners? Are they career based? Are they moms? Are they single? So I would get a lot more specific with that. Like, who are you helping to determine what their purpose is? I also I remember how excited I was when you offered me a low ticket item that I could enter in one of your programs. Yep. And then we worked together, and then you came into the incubator and we worked together in that. So, it does work. Yes, those journey of belief emails. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so first step one in creating and selling your courses is to, one, create a no-brainer offer. Okay. All right. Step one, create a no-brainer offer. So what does this mean? A lot of people think they know what an offer is. They're like, hey, come buy my course because it's great. Hey, my course is open for sale. Come buy it. And the problem is that no one cares. No one really cares. They only care about themselves. So what does it mean to create a no-brainer offer? What that means is that you need to speak to that person and to their pain points and to their desires. So if you've never heard this before, I'll explain it. When someone is stressing about something or they need help with something, what are they doing? They're thinking about it. They're speaking about it to other people. They're going to bed at night and before sleep, they're still like, it's in their head. It's called like a pillow talk problem, right? Your no-brainer offer has to be attached to a pillow talk problem, right? We talk about this in the Path to Six Figures. If you are just doing something that's like feel good and they're not thinking about it, then they don't care. And so your no-brainer offer, not only is it speaking to that pain point, but also at the same time, you need to tell them why it's important and how it's going to affect their life. So the way that I like to do this is I like to do what are called so that statements. So for example, I might say something like, in this session, you're going to learn how I sold $300,000 of courses so that you'll be able to avoid the hard stuff and just do what works. Okay. So that's an example of a so that statement. Why is your offer important? Why is what you're doing important? Okay. For the most part, I had this question prior, so I decided to pull it in here. Where how many weeks do I do a course for? So for the most part, generally my courses are anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So we did passive income summer school this past year, for example. That was a 6-week program. I really, really enjoyed that one. May or may not bring it back around. The Path to Six Figures is something that can be completed within 12 weeks, but you get a full year in that program. So it just depends on how much you have to cover and how you split it up or break it up. Okay. So that's step one, create a no-brainer offer. Okay. If you have questions on that, put them in the chat. Okay. Step two, pay attention. This is going to, the majority of you, this is going to help. This step alone is worth this entire free training. Okay. Pay attention. So when you're, you don't want to be the only one selling something. I'm just going to keep it simple. We don't need to tell a story. You don't want to be the only one selling something. So if you are selling something that's like this, unicorn type topic, and you're like, nobody else is doing this. If it's your first business or your first time doing the topic and you don't have a whole lot of income to test it out, you want to back away and go do something that has already been proven. Okay. So what happens is it costs money to prove out a topic. And the money that's spent is generally money spent on research, money spent on ads to see if people are actually going to sign up and things like that. So you don't want to be the one testing that. Okay. You would rather do something that's already been proven and tested. So that's what I mean by pay attention. Pay attention to what's already out there, what's already working. Part of the homework that we do inside of our course is to have students to go and look for like top 5 competitors. So if you go to look at your competitors, we're not copying anything from them. We just want to know, like, what is it? If these are the people that are also speaking to the people I want to speak to, what is it that they're doing? And how far off am I from that mark? Okay. So I don't want to offer something that, is like left field. Yeah. I really enjoyed passive income summer school. I didn't, I didn't like, I shorten everything afterwards, right? So even when I talk about the path to six figures, like all of my documents, it says P6F. And honestly, like I didn't think about the acronym for Passive Income Summer School. I should have called it like Passive Income Summer Academy, but it's too late now. So yeah, take that with that grain of salt. All right. Step 3. All right, you ready for step 3? I'm trying to move through these so we make sure we still get on our time. I'm going to check out a Chinese school today if I can learn more Chinese. All right, step 3, survey and research. Okay. Survey and research. What does this mean? This means, so now that you know, kind of, you're paying attention, you kind of know like what's out there and what your competitors are doing, you can just stop looking at them and stop watching them, because number one, it's probably going to be demotivating. And number two, we don't want to copy or have our content influenced by them. And so next thing we're gonna do is survey and research. So what this is actually surveying your audience, researching into your audience. If you do not have an audience yet, I do work with a lot of newer coaches who don't have an email list, who don't have an audience. If you don't have an audience yet, you're going to crowdsource your research. So you would go somewhere like Facebook groups, find groups that have people who are in your potential audience and go interact with them. This is the get out of your introvert bubble section. Okay. Once you have an audience, so here's the light at the end of the tunnel for my introverts. Once you have an audience, it's as easy as sending an email with the survey link. But until then, you're going to have to do the grind work. You have to do the grunt work. Okay. All right. I think that's where I struggle the most. I aim to help churches improve social media engagement and adult Christian education, but it's been really hard to find my competitors. I just found one of your competitors and I wasn't even looking for them. Because a friend of mine sent me something and they were just talking about it's a software that helps churches improve social media engagement. So try searching a little bit off the beaten path. Try looking for software. Try looking for agencies maybe that do that, and see if you can find it that way. And the best thing to do is to, like, if you were your ideal client and you're at the point of desperation where you're like, I need help with this, what would you type in Google? Like, what would you search? What hashtags would you research? Go do that. And I guarantee you that you'll find some competitors. It's not just gonna, like my mom used to say, it's not just gonna pop up and say, here I am. You actually have to go search and look for it. And what I tell my clients is like, this is where the money is. And this is why it tends to be one of the more involved things to do, because most people don't do it. But this is literally where your money is. You are very welcome. Okay, good. Survey and research. What questions do you ask them? I shared the questions asked inside of Past Six Figures. I actually even give you a template. Like, I give you everything you need to succeed in there. But generally what we want to know is like, what are you struggling with? What have you tried? Why do you feel blocked? Things like that. Okay. All right. Step 4. Let's try that again. All right. Oh, that's what happened. It brought over the number 4 from the list. Okay. Step 4, pre-sell. So this goes hand in hand with the marketing. Okay. So how do you pre-sell? How do you make sure that your topic is not a flop? So earlier when I said I had created this whole like design my launch thing, I didn't actually create the content. I didn't record anything. I didn't do anything like that. What I did there was I created an image. I created a sales page, like a little landing page, and I have a tutorial on how to create a landing page in Thinkific that you can go and check out. And I put it up, and then I saw if anyone was going to buy. No one bought, so I just quietly stuck it back in the closet. And so, your pre-sell is generally when you're telling people, hey, it's open, it's ready. So the way that you do this, and I've gotten questions about this before, is when you tell someone that you're going to start the class on such and such date. So right now it's March 19th. Let's assume that you wanted to start the class on April 1st. It's kind of tight, but it's possible. Then what you would do is you would say, between March 19th and April 1st, I'm doing my sales. So I'm pre-selling. If nobody buys, guess what? You don't have to do anything on April 1st. But once you get that one sale, doesn't matter if you only get one, doesn't matter. You're still going to show up. Once you get that sale, then you're going to show up. You're going to go through the next process, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then you'll have your program. So the pre-selling process involves a couple of things. You need to understand who you're selling it to, and you need to understand what it is. You need to be able to describe it down to a T. Like, what is it that they're getting? Even if you haven't created it yet. Like, I remember when I was selling Passive Income Summer School, I knew that I wanted to create this supplemental training on case study on how I sold Brand New Coach, as it sells as a passive income product. I never recorded it live. It's always been a passive product. I sat down on my recording day when I was doing my YouTube videos, and I recorded all 14 plus videos in one day, and I started selling it. So it's always been a passive product. And I knew I wanted to include that. So on the sales page, I said, you're also going to get a case study of how I sold Brand New Coach. Notice I hadn't created even that yet. So the point is that what you want to figure out is like, what can I include that makes it really exciting, right? Remember, going back to that create a no-brainer offer. But that doesn't mean you have to have everything ready by April 1st. Okay. In this example. So then you make your sales. April 1st comes around. You record your content. So you show up live, you record your content with the people that are there live for the class, and you teach them, you get them to ask you questions, because you need to make sure you're not missing anything, which is the best thing about hosting the class live. And then from there, you nail down your process. All right. All right. How do I have this in this order? I'm trying to think of which one it needs to do next. So let's talk about how do you do the marketing, because I think that goes hand in hand with pre-selling. Okay. So the way that you do the marketing is you're going to market it to your existing audience. If you do not have an audience, hey, guess what? You need to get out there and start creating some content and start getting some attention. Like, there's no shortcut to this, right? So when I got started, and also a part of the reason why I chose Thinkific when I first got started is because it was simple. It was simple. It was straightforward, but I also didn't have a large audience. So what I did was I created workshops. I would host the free workshop. It was a free workshop. So similar to this, like a live stream. I would host the free workshop. I would take it. I would load it up into Thinkific. I would tell people, hey, if you'd like to purchase it, here's where you can go purchase it and watch it later. And then at the end of that workshop, I would say, okay, I'm doing a paid workshop now. Then I would do the paid workshop. And then as soon as they bought that and I recorded it, I would load that into Thinkific. So it was really easy. Everything I was able to just upload it right away. Okay. Did I use Facebook ads? At the very start, I did use Facebook ads. Okay. I spent $35. Okay. So for those of you who are like, oh, Facebook ads are expensive. Like, yeah, the costs have gone up, but honestly, I spent $35 to show the ad. I just clicked boost posts. I didn't know anything about the ads manager then. I didn't know as much about Facebook ads then as I know now. So I was exactly where a lot of you guys are, not really understanding the platform, how it worked. Like, I taught myself a lot of this stuff because I'm dedicated. And I know that if anybody's going to succeed, I'm going to succeed as long as I just try, literally just do it. Okay. So I just clicked boost posts. I spent $35, and then I had somebody come and sign up for my workshop. And then at the end of the workshop, I said, who wants to get on a call? Then we got on a call, and I would sell a $3,000 program. So, I say it like it's not really rocket science. It really isn't. Okay. Then the next thing that you want to do from there, okay, step 5 is nail down your process. Okay. And I'll come to the questions in just a little bit. All right. Step 5. And then I'll come back to, I just said I was going to come back to the questions. I just had a brain fart. Step 5, nail down your process. So what does that mean? That means what sales hooks worked. What sales hooks worked. What does that mean? Ask people when they sign up, why did you sign up? Okay. Ask them what ultimately I'm going to type this in because you need this. Okay. And write it just like this. Don't change it around. Don't be cute. Okay. Right. What ultimately made you decide to buy? Just like that. You need that word ultimately. Not what made you decide to buy, not why did you buy, not why did you invest. Like, I literally want to know what made you pull the trigger, what ultimately made you decide to buy. When you ask that question just like that, you're going to get answers where people will tell you how to sell it again. A lot of people miss this step. They don't do it. And then the next time they try to sell it, they're like, oh, I'm still trying to sell it the way that I know to sell it. And like, you may get some sales, but hey, how about asking the people who bought why they bought? Because then that'll help you get more people who will buy. Like, I feel like this should be very straightforward, but a lot of people just don't do this. So the way I used to do this is I would add a Facebook group attached to the offer. And part of the questions to get into the Facebook group, now that they let you ask questions, was like, what email did you use to purchase? And then what ultimately made you decide to buy? That's it. 2 questions. And then I would take those answers and I put them on my little spreadsheet. And then the next time I wanted to offer this program or course, I would look at those and I would look at my sales page and or my emails and say, does that include these things? So if somebody said, well, I ultimately decided to purchase because I realized that I'm not where I want to be, then I would say on my sales page, hey, do you realize you're not where you want to be? You see how easy this is? It's like, take the words, put it on the page. And so I do this all the time. Okay. So that's your first thing. Sales hooks. Nail down your process. Okay, I'm still on this. Obviously, you've hosted it already. Some people ask, how do you host it? You actually can host it inside of Thinkific. They have a lot of great features in there. You can host it on Zoom. You can host it on YouTube, YouTube Live. So let me share with you now that we're here, before we make it all the way to the last one, which is my special link. Because I did tell you guys I've created this in partnership with Thinkific. Okay. So this is the link you can go to. I just put it in the chat as well. Okay. When you go to that link, you're going to get the opportunity to get a 5-day series. Okay. Actually, this is the one. Hang on a second. Okay. This is the cool one. I'll give you the other link in just a second. This is the one where it shows you how much you can earn based on the number of students that you have. Okay. So based on how many courses you sell per month and then how many students you have, it'll tell you how much you can earn generating passive income with Thinkific. So I think that's cool. I really like that one. But the other one that I like was the other link that they gave me, which is the one that's a 5-day series. So let me grab that link because I put the wrong one in my notes. Okay, so bear with me and drop your questions as you have them, and then we'll finalize it all. Okay. Here it is. All right. Oh, no, it's the same link. It is that one. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, it is. It's on there. So it's a 5-part video series. It's called Coach to Course, and it's designed specifically for coaches. So in this series, you'll learn from experts who have scaled their coaching businesses. There's some of my friends are in there, so it's really cool to see that. But definitely check it out. It talks about a lot of the experience that we've all had with going from starting a coaching program and then transitioning into courses. I definitely started with just doing coaching, doing sales calls, phone calls, and then realizing that I wanted to transition into course income. And so that's the series that you want. Okay. So if you go to that link, that will take you there. All right. Just put your email address in and then you'll get that. Okay. Good. All right. Do I use funnels? I have that question that I didn't answer that question. Yes, I use funnels. I use a simple funnel as a sales page directly to the purchase page. That's the easiest funnel. You don't need anything more complicated than that. Okay. All right. Let's go back to what we're completing this. Nail down your process. So sales hooks, host it, get testimonials. Your testimonials are people who attended and enjoyed. So ask them, do a survey afterwards. Notice that we got lots of surveys happening here, right? So do a survey afterwards. Hey, how did you like the class? What were your aha moments? And I actually like to survey as we're going through the program. So I'll literally ask like, hey, did you guys enjoy day one? If so, let me know. What were some of your aha moments? Because not only is it informing the content that I need to continue creating, but it's also helped me to understand like what they're really there for. When you guys share your aha moments, when I ask you like, what are your aha moments? It actually helps me to figure out what do I need to share so that I can help you get even better results, because everyone has different aha moments. And I don't know what you don't know. And you also don't know what you don't know. But I literally don't know, like, what were the things that sparked, like I said, an aha moment. And once I know that, I'm like, oh, okay, I need to elaborate on this. And it helps me improve the content. So that's what you're going to do there when you're getting your testimonials. Okay. And then finally, you want to put your support plan in place. So when you have courses, you are going to have people who reach out to say, hey, I can't log in. And even though there's a forgot password link on the page when people log in, they still are going to be like, I don't know how to log in. So you just want like a simple email. I have like a standard email that's like, hey, I'm so sorry you're having trouble logging in. Here's where you need to go. Go to this link, type in your email, click forgot password. If your email is different from the email that you used to purchase, let us know. If there's a typo, we can adjust that. And honestly, like, majority of people who can't log in is because their email is either not working or they did a typo. Like put like gmail.com or something like that. So you want to make sure you keep an eye out for that. Okay. And then that's it. So from there, you're going to post your recorded sessions. Okay. Or re-record them if you'd like. So this is your step 6. Okay, so step 6, post your recorded sessions, load them into Thinkific, your course platform, re-record them if you'd like. Some programs I didn't re-record for months. So if you guys are familiar with Package and Profit, we have over 2,000 students inside of Package and Profit. So you might be familiar with it, but if you purchase Package and Profit, when I first released that program, it was a series of Periscope videos. Then after that, I did re-record them, but not for like another year or so. Then I re-recorded them, and I think those new recordings are like the latest recordings. We're going to be recording it again soon because we're going to have the live event. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. So just post those recorded sessions in there, and then that's it. Then you go from there. You continue publishing it. You continue telling people about it. You put the link in your bio. Like, that's how you do it. And I really wanted to also spend time on like the actual course launch roadmap. So like what I do in terms of like, okay, step 1, like putting together the sales page, the funnel, what emails I create, like how many emails I create, when they get sent out, and all of those things. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, like a part 2, let me know. If so, we'll do that next week. That can be our topic for next week. Okay. Because I started writing the notes on that, and I was like, this is going to be, which we're already at the 1 hour mark. So let me know if that's something that you'd like. Okay. Let's go back to Amora. Says, hi, I'm new here. Glad to have you. Welcome. I'm taking a course on coaching. Practically a newborn full. How do you get experience as a new coach? Do I offer coaching sessions for free? Yes. That's how you get experience. I would do, they should have, depending on the coaching certification you're doing, they should recommend a certain number of hours for you to do, so that you start getting your, your feet wet, right? And that's what I would recommend. So I would do a couple of sessions for free. And then from there, I would do more sessions, but paid. But in this case, maybe do them at like a lower beta price. It's always easier to raise your rates than it is to lower them. So if you're just getting started, then depending on your level of experience, which I'm not familiar with, but that's how I would start. I would do free, then I would step up to like a little bit lower, but paid. So like $97 phone call, for example, but not like 3 hours, right? Like a 30 minute, right? And then I would move up from there. Okay. Ruth says, I'm going back to the basics. Yes. I did it as a quote unquote webinar. When I say workshop, I always like to be careful with the wording because generally people view webinars free, workshop is paid. So when I did a free workshop, yes, it was a virtual via video webinar style. So it was like slides, and that's what I did. So when I did free webinars, I would do free webinar, and then I do a paid workshop. That's exactly how I did it. Okay, good. Kimberly's enjoying it. I already have an account, like a Thinkific account. How will this deal work if I already have an account? You still get the 5-day coach to course series. But what you'll want to do is, if you will email them and let them know that you're coming from my audience, see if they have something special for you, and hopefully they'll hook you up. They're cool. It's an awesome team. They're out of Canada. And they have really good social media if you're not already following Thinkific. So, okay, good. So we're yes on the part 2. Okay, good. So we'll do the part 2 next week. I'm going to leave this one up. I will not put it in the membership. Okay. The YouTube membership, specifically because this was a partner one. So if you're watching this and you're not a member, and then you try to go to part 2, which I'm going to be hosting in a week, and you see it as for members only, just join the membership. Okay. All right. Diane says, my coaching school recommended we take on 3 clients, offer 3 sessions at a low price, then renew at a higher price. Yes, exactly that. 100%. Okay, good. I like that survey from day one. Yeah, asking them like, hey, how was day one? Did you enjoy it? What would you change? What were your aha moments? Robin says, did you manage to solo at first, or did a VA handle a lot of this? What I'm going to tell you is operate in your zone of genius. Okay. So what I did might be different from what you choose to do. So now let me answer your question. I did a lot of this myself. I'm really good with tech. I'm a fast learner. I'm a fast reader as well. And I comprehend very quickly. And I don't say that with any like cockiness or anything like that. I was an A student in school, so I know what my strengths are. However, my weaknesses are other things that I've since have outsourced. Okay. So I did a lot of this myself. I did a lot of the setup myself. And so you'll notice like on my channel, I have a how to set up a landing page on Thinkific. Like I was self-taught. Facebook ads, self-taught. I'm teaching myself TikTok ads right now. I've played around a little bit with Pinterest ads, but not really doing anything on that. So a lot of the stuff, YouTube ads, I'm running my own YouTube ads. So a lot of this stuff is because it's self-taught. So operate in your zone of genius. If your zone of genius is not tech, then yes, please hire someone. I have almost always had a VA that I've worked with, whether it's in someone who can help with like actual copywriting and marketing and social media and stuff like that, or someone who's just like helping with the tech. I do have someone who like helps edit videos, things like that. So yeah, I've always hired help, but I've also done a lot of it myself. Okay. Offer a free 30-minute consultation, then book them from the consultation for a regular 1-hour session. Yep, you can absolutely do it that way. That's the way that a lot of people get people into their programs. I have a course I taught live, but now I want to take online. Which of your courses would help me do that? The Path to 6 Figures. And thank you, Diane, for making it so easy for me to transition into. So if you go to LaTisha.tv, I'm warning you guys now, okay? I was only going to talk about this next weekend, but I'm going to tell you right now. The pricing is changing for the Path to 6 Figures, okay? The investment is increasing, and we're removing the payment plan. Why? We just partnered with an organization that's going to provide the financing, so we don't have to provide the financing anymore, okay? Which also means that we get to add a couple more things in there for clients, and we also get to make the value match the pricing. So if you go to LaTisha.tv/wait, you'll see the sales page for the Path to 6 Figures. You'll have an opportunity to read through everything. If you're interested in getting into the program and you want to do that before the investment increases, then you'll need to join that waiting list, you probably already have the link to join, and go ahead and get enrolled. As of April 3rd, our next cohort starts April 3rd. As of April 3rd, the investment is increasing. Okay, so you heard it here first. Don't complain when you see the number has changed. Okay. Okay, great. The main thing is that I'm bringing in a lot of additional resources for you guys. And also, like, can we just for a second get excited about the fact that as soon as you join, you're going to get your student guide. It's going to take you through everything you need, your brand story. It's going to help you figure out how to get your competitors, how to take a course that you did in person, take it online. You'll figure out how to get your high ticket offer set up. I love this guide. You're going to get that, and you're going to get the program. You'll get the coaching. You'll get all of the templates. Like, I literally give you the templates for so many different things. And I'm starting to add in templates for support so that you can train your virtual assistant. So I'm going to add that the email template as far as like, hey, sorry, you can't get logged in. I'm adding that email template. We give you a lot of the systems. We help you set things up. So that's where you need to do. Yes, yesterday's price is not today's price. Ask the gas stations that. They know it. Okay, no excuses. The best value at $2.99. Yes, it is. TikTok is the same, at LaTisha Styles TV. I haven't been creating anything there yet. I've been just working on ads. So there's like one TikTok on there, but I do watch it a lot. Thank you. Super excited to have you in there, Dion, and you as well, Mary. Very excited to have our students in here. Okay. Final things. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. This is the first time that I've done a partnered live stream. So I hope that you enjoyed it. It was still great content. And like I said, I do want to do a give back. So when I send out that email with the information, just follow the instructions and we'll send you some gas money. Okay. Please, if you're not already following Thinkific, go to and follow them on Instagram. They are at Thinkific. Okay, I'm going to put this link in here so that you can do that. They're always supporting creators. They create really great content. So if you're not, I follow them. If you're not following them already, definitely go and do that there. But make sure you click my link, okay? So that I get credit, so they know that I'm the one that's sending you over there. All right. So awesome. Yes, you can sign up for the price increases. You absolutely can. So if that's something that you'd like to do, all you have to do is like literally reply back, email, text, whatever it is. Those come into us. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to head over to my channel and explore. While you're there, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. Until next time, remember, your dreams deserve your decision, and you deserve to achieve your dreams, but only if you decide to do what it takes to get them. So go, dream, decide, do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.